You've seen it already in local media. We were supposed to have a big regional chamber of commerce, and then the people of Thorold, some companies within Thorold decided this is not working for us. We're going to explore that notion today with the president of the Thorold Group that was with the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce, and now they want essentially out. Terry Dow is the president. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you.
Now, there were all sorts of good intentions to have all the chambers come together with one voice. And then something happened. Tell us the background.
Well, I think what happened was 6 years ago, the Thorold Chamber of Commerce, I think, was probably on the verge of bankruptcy.
Oh.
And they needed to, at that point, amalgamate with the St. Catharines Chamber of Commerce, so it became the St. Catharines-Thorold Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. And since then, we really haven't felt in Thorold that our voice has been heard with regards to being the voice of business in Thorold. So we feel like we left out a little bit. So this isn't new. This started about 1.5 years ago. We had called the Ontario Chamber of Commerce to see what steps we had to take to get our charter back. And what happens is if there's a region that owns a Chamber of Commerce in that area, there's only allowed to be one Chamber of Commerce in that area. So we weren't at that time able to get that back. You know, and then we kind of watched what was happening, what was going on for the next 1.5 years. And still, again, no representation with the loss of the liquor store, the license bureau. I know Rolling Meadows development needed help, and they weren't there to help them. There's a lot of businesses within the community that need help. That's what we're here for, to listen to them. We want to know what their issues are, and we want to get our charter back. It was given in goodwill, and at that time, 6 years ago, they said, the St. Catharines Chamber said, if you're not happy with it, it'll be reviewed in a couple of years, and if you're not happy with the things they're running, you're more than welcome to have your charter back. So that they've never been put to task on that, and so a group of Thorold business people have now put them to task and asked for it back.
Now, this is new to I know about the Greater Niagara Chamber, and I knew about you joining that and having some concerns about it, but you're saying these concerns really stem back to when you were first the St. Catharines-Thorold Chamber, even
Yes.
before the Greater Niagara Chamber.
Even before
Interesting.
That. It is interesting. And with the talk of amalgamation, and how everyone says St. Catharines wants to amalgamate with Thorold, they want to eat us up. I think that's always on the back burner, and that's always in people's minds. And I don't think that they got the support of the Thorold business community coming out to their general membership meetings and coming out to their businesses after 5, because we just always have that little bit of tension between the two cities. Mm-hmm. So they weren't getting a lot of people out.
Now, you do have, 9 or 10 people in this new group wanting to bring it back to Thorold. Right?
We have more than that now, John.
Okay.
They're established about 1.5 years ago as a Thorold Business Club. Again, they had to establish. Now, it's not a association or whatever. It was just a bunch of Thorold business people that got together. And because there was nobody doing that for Thorold anymore. Thorold members had to come down to the St. Catharines meetings, and that wasn't happening. So the Thorold Business Club met on July 4th, and their chair handed over their 100 members to us. Now, at that meeting, there was probably 35 of their members at that meeting, and we got a lot of support where people put their money where their mouth was, gave us their $99, filled out the form, and said, yeah, let's go for it. Let's get this charter back. And since then, we have at least 2 or 3 every day that we're
Right.
picking up the forms, so we're really gaining momentum.
Now, there have been meetings between yourself and the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce, which is primarily St. Catharines.
Right.
How have those meetings gone?
Well, we had one, and we're supposed to have another one. What they said was they offered us to become the Thorold Business Council, which would be an umbrella under their chamber. And, we're looking at that option, but we don't think it's 100%. We'd still be under their budget, their bylaws. We'd still be under them. Well, we want to be separate.
So ultimately, Terry, are you working towards a independent Thorold Chamber of Commerce?
We are. And up until 6 years ago, there was an independent Thorold Chamber of Commerce in Thorold for 113 years. It was incorporated in 1893 as the Thorold Board of Trade, and then at some point they switched their name over to the Thorold Chamber of Commerce. So we had it there for 113 years. And in 2000, the year 2000, when I left being the manager there, we had 225 members, and we're a small community. So I think in Thorold there's maybe 500 550 businesses.
Right.
So we had almost half. We had a lot of money in the bank. We were doing business after fives and luncheons, as you know. You probably came to some of them. So we were really a great, viable chamber with an active board and a board that was really looking, progressive and lobbying the government on many different levels for the Thorold business
Now,
community.
I would imagine, Terry, that when you and your colleagues in Thorold said to the Greater Chamber of Commerce, we want to start pulling back, I would have heard some real groans, right?
There's a few groans because their ultimate goal is to be the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce, which they want. They would love to have all the chambers join them and be underneath them. But that isn't, from what I can see and when I've talked to their chamber managers, that is not going to be happening anytime in the near future. Now, I'm sure you've heard that the Fort Erie Chamber of Commerce has signed a memorandum of agreement with them. That wasn't them handing over their charter. That was the Fort Erie Chamber of Commerce needing help, and because St. Catharines has a lot of staff there and they have policy people there, and I understand they're hiring another policy person under Keithio. They need them for that purpose, but they did not hand over their chamber. They are not amalgamating.
And would you like that type of arrangement?
We would look towards that. We would, look into that, but we want our charter back first.
Right. And you'll get it, won't you?
Well, I think our strength will be in our numbers. And as we keep getting more and more businesses joining the Thorold Committee of Concern, and I think our strength will be in our numbers, and hopefully we'll get that.
I will ask specifically because this, let me phrase this. On the board of the Greater Chamber of Commerce, is there Thorold representation?
There is, John. There is.
And are they in your camp or with the Greater Chamber?
The way it's worked is we get one representative on the board. That certain person has been there for the whole 6 years. Their board is not voted in like a normal Chamber of Commerce board is voted in. They are appointed. So this person is appointed, and this person took the lead in amalgamating.
So is still with the Greater Chamber?
With the Greater Chamber.
Right. Now, the City of Thorold Council, I think, endorsed your new enterprise, didn't it?
They did. They
Yes.
did at a council meeting. They were one of our very first people to fill out the form and pay the $99. So they're behind us 100% to get that back. And our regional councillor, Henry D'Angela, also showed up at the Thorold Business Club meeting, and he's also in support of getting our charter back.
Right. Do you not think this provides a very serious blow to the philosophy of one voice?
It does, but that philosophy wasn't working for us, John, in Thorold. So, and we looked at that, and they do have a great chamber, and they do good things for the community. However, we feel that we've been misrepresented, and we want our charter back.
Do you, when you get presumably you'll get your charter back. They won't say no, will they? I mean,
I can't see them saying no. I can't see them saying
Right.
no for reasons I don't want to explain, but I can't see them saying no. They're not going to hand it over easily, but it'll be,
some people have said to me they prefer the city of Niagara, not the city of Thorold or St. Catharines. How do you feel about the city of Niagara?
Well, I mean, that's been talked about for a long time, and it's never been mandated by the provincial government, so we'll have to see what happens. Because I don't think the cities in Niagara are going to do it willingly.
Right. Okay. Terry, thanks for coming. We'll
Thank
have you
you.
back in the next several weeks. So there you go. That's a good discussion from this new group. Is it a new group? Is it an old group in Thorold? I'm not sure. Send me an email. I'd love to get your ideas and comments, and I'll see you next week.